Well, hi everybody, it's Bill out here in Eastern Iowa. Thanks so much for taking time to watch another video of what I'm doing out here. I sure appreciate it. Hey, today's project's going to be rebuilding a retaining wall. The retaining wall has been failing over a couple of years. There are some clues that it's pushing out. The gaps are getting bigger. It's starting to lean forward. Take a look at where the arrow's pointing to. You see how it's pushing out, kind of like my waistline's doing nowadays? So I want to replace that wall. I hoped to have done it next year. But another project that I want to do accelerated this to have to be done now. Let me explain. I'm going to install heating cables in my gutters and downspouts, and I want that water to be carried away and dumped into my yard out to daylight away from the foundation. And I'm going to use SDR pipe, sewer and drain pipe. You can see a piece of it laying there in the video instead of that old corrugated pipe. So it would be foolish to dig that up, take it to daylight, the pipe, and not fix that wall. So that's why that came forward. We have to do it now. So we're going to take this wall out. We're going to put new SDR pipe in, and we're going to take that all away. I'll make another video on showing you how I do the heating cable project also. But let's go back a year, December of last year. We had a lot of snow. That snow adds up over time and has been causing an ice dam on one of my roofs. This is a 412 pitch and a 1212 pitch coming together right there in that circle. I took this video on December 24th of 2020 to show you how fast that ice adds up. Here's another close-up of it. Now present day, I'm going to run heating cable in that gutter downspout, and I'm going to put the cable 4 feet into the new pipe so that it doesn't freeze at the top. There's a picture of it when it's done. Then I'm going to take that pipe to daylight, like I said, and we're really going to have a nice system. I think you're going to enjoy that video when it comes out. I'm waiting for snow to prove that it works. All right, back to present day. Let's go ahead and start getting these caps off. I'll put the weight of each cap on here because, boy, they're heavy, and I'm really appreciating the forks and the tractor here. It's easy to just swing around, put these caps on here, and then I'll bring them back. Little glue there, they usually break with a little pry bar. They come off pretty easy, and it's just a matter of breaking them loose, stacking them up, and I'm going to haul them away here with the tractor. These are Frontier forks, and the model number, it was at the beginning of the video. Video 88 and 90 go into a deeper review of how I use these forks. I really encourage you to take a serious look at purchasing a set of forks. You just won't believe what they'll do for you until you have a set. Boy, they've allowed me to stay on my land a lot longer. I know I've said that before, but it's a fact. And just here I am picking up a fresh pallet. I put the other ones on the pallet out in the woods. I'll go pick those up when I get done. And so basically it's rinse and repeat here until we get these down. You'll notice that I'm stacking the blocks towards the back of the fence, so I'm putting the heaviest part closest to the tractor. Just like when you lift with your arms, you're stronger if you bring your arms into your chest and lift versus trying to hold your arms a foot away from your chest area. I'll put the weight of each block here on the screen when I learn that, and then what my total weight is there so you have that information. Now, due to the cost of this rock, I wanted to reuse as much as I can, so I thought I would just hand shovel this and push it back so that I can keep what I can. It didn't take too long. I figured out what in the world am I doing? So I went and got the backhoe, and remember that backhoe paddle that we made? You can check that out in a video here. I'll post it for you. But this is going to make a lot easier work of that, moving this gravel. And that's one of the reasons I built that paddle, was working in landscape rock. What I'm trying to do here is push the rock off of the mat underneath there and keep the rock as clean as I can so I can reuse it. And you're going to see here real quick I'm down to that Biz Queen or whatever I used in there. There you can see it. So I'm just going to continue going back and forth, pushing that rock off. Then we're going to turn around and use the bucket and see if I can start getting some of the soils out of here and keeping these two separate. And while we watch me struggle around to get this rock and dirt out of here, I'd like to start doing shout-outs again to people that have taken time to say hello and let me know where they're watching from. Kenneth, hi, down in Benton, Kentucky. Keith out in Orange, Texas. Chris in Sandy Hook, Connecticut. Chris, best wishes for you out there. I hope your community's healing every day. Daniel in Charlottesville, Virginia. Andrew over in Toledo, Ohio said hello. Jeff down Louisiana. And Rodney checked in from Sterling, Illinois. Thanks, everybody. I'll put you on the map. Well, you can see using the bucket, the front loader didn't work very well. The tires would strike the wall, and I couldn't get in there as far as I thought. So I flipped around, hooked the backhoe back up, and that made short work of it, pushing the rock all back. So then here we go again, just loading these blocks again. Get them all loaded up and out of there, and then we'll be able to come back with the front end loader and take a lot of this dirt out of here. I'm really trying to be careful of that concrete slab. I poured that a few years ago, so I'm trying to keep the weight off of that so I don't break it or drop the block on it. You know, another viewer that I'd like to make mention to is CD out in California. Chris suggested that I start tracking the cost of the projects compared to hiring it done, and I'm going to do that at the end of this video. I had an estimate of just under $4,000 to do this, so we'll take a look at that at the end of the video when it's done and see how much we deferred. Now I'm starting to get some pretty good scoops of that soil out of there, aren't we? Now we'll be able to start digging behind that wall. My intent was to kind of make a V, 1 foot at the bottom, 3 or 4 feet at the top, and then refill that with clean 1-inch gravel. Well, it wasn't too long, and I could see this wasn't going to work. So another light bulb went off in my head and says, just take the wall out. So I'm going to take those 2 rows out. That's going to leave a row behind the concrete there that we'll have to take out a little bit later. But this is going to be able to do it right, and it's also going to allow me to tighten that curve up right to the left of the backhoe. We're going to be a lot tighter. The reason I want that tighter is so that my outriggers will fit in there and get me closer to the house when I use a man lift that I have. All right, everything's dug out of here. Now there's that last row I pointed out to you. We'll take that out because I poured the concrete right up to it, and we're going to take that out in a minute. So there's my pathway. We're going to hook onto that downspout, and we're going to put our new sewer and drain pipe on that. We're going to put a clean out on it, and we're going to run our heating cable about 4 feet into that. Then we're going to bring that out towards the camera and run that out to daylight. Here it is completed, and we'll get into that in the next video. I hope I'm explaining myself clearly on why it would have been foolish to not tear this wall out and do this all right now. You know, some interesting information on this backhoe, which I just thoroughly love. It has a digging depth of 7 feet, 9 foot 9 inch reach length, 150 degree swing arc, and that boom is able to lift 255 pounds. You can check out video 112 and it'll show you what the digging depth of 7 feet is. I had it down that far in that video. Worked very well. Well, it obviously I was struggling with picking those blocks up, and I thought, my gosh, close that thumb a little bit and let this wonderful backhoe do some of the lifting for you instead of trying to fumble around there and perhaps break one. You know, over winter, I think I might go see my friend Kenny, see if there's a way to take like a scarifier, do a quick attach to that bucket, and then I could just take that scarifier, that pick, and push it down in there and pull that block right up. I've got 2 more walls to do like this, so we'll see what happens. All right, things are going pretty good here. You know, this is fun. You might be thinking, why in the world is he doing this, not just pick it up? Oh man, there we go. I broke that one. Oh, that's all right. I've got a dozen extra of these, so let's see how we do. I was saying this is kind of fun. Otherwise, I could have just went in there and probably picked them up, but it's fun. You know, it's like a lot of sports. You compete against yourself like golf and these other sports. I really enjoy using the backhoe and trying to get better all the time. It's just a lot of fun. And if you enjoy my videos, consider sharing them. Please give me a thumbs up. You won't believe how much a thumbs up helps YouTube recognize and say, hey, this must be an interesting video. It helps me out tremendously. So a thumbs up, I'd sure appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. All right, so we get the block out of there. Now I just want to dig down and see how far the gravel goes. I've got a lot of limestone. There's a big limestone shelf sits in here, so I want to find out where I'm at. So we're going to clean that out, and then we're going to compact it. I did take the video out in which I smashed my foot using that thing. I come right down on it pretty square. But shovel some more gravel in there, and then work real hard to keep everything level. There's a real nice base. I dug down, and there's a nice 6-inch rock base down below that. So I'm just going to add a little more gravel to bring it up to where I want it. Then I'm going to pack it real hard in here, as hard as I can with this. I don't have a vibrating plate. So I'm carefully putting the block in there, and I'm going to put just a slight tilt to the wall backwards. So that's telling me it needs to be raised in the rear and come forward. So it's tilting back just a little bit. That's what I want. I'm going to carry that same levelness, if that's such a word, through that wall. It's not a very big wall. It's maybe 4 feet, so I don't need any geogrid or anything like that in there. So it's time to put some rock in there, nice clean 1-inch rock, and then just keep leveling myself up. And the gaps are starting to look nice. The level's showing that everything's holding pretty true. So we've got a good start here, good start. I've got a friend that whenever he pours a retaining wall, he always pours a concrete footing. But I'm pretty comfortable to doing it this way, especially with that concrete slab about 3 inches in front of it that'll hold like a toe. Now I'm being real careful as I'm digging this out. I don't want that gravel to slide in. Went over the quarry and got another load of rock. This is 3 tons, 6,000 pounds. Doesn't look like very much, does it? That's about $60 here. So we're going to grab that with the loader and start getting that in place. I've been really blessed that the wall there, the dirt behind that, hasn't been caving in. So I put some erosion mat there. There's the drain tile with its cover in place. I'm going to take that to a dry well that I just circled there by that arrow. And so we're going to start refilling this now. Like I said, my design or my plan in my head was to make a V. And I'm going to fill this all up with gravel as we go up. Don't forget, we still have to bring that other downspout over. This drain tile is just for behind the wall to get any water out of there that would get there. And then that'll go to a dry well. Being very careful of my wife sitting there. She's holding the drain tile in place and the erosion mat back. But I'm just very careful to know where my tires, which way they're pointed, and just the situational awareness is high here. Well, then it started to rain. Let's go ahead and stop this a minute. This is one reason I like ownership of a backhoe and a tractor. I just parked it in the garage and didn't have to worry about rental terms and paying for something that I couldn't even use. I covered everything up really good, hoping to keep that hillside from sliding into our new work. And I just fingers crossed we're going to come out of this dry. Well, in the next video, we're going to finish this project up. We'll put that drain tile in I've been talking about, and we're going to cut some new tops and finish the wall and bring this all together. Have a great month, everybody. We'll talk to you real soon. So long.